morning, I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the Aragon Ballroom here in Chicago, Illinois for tonight's main event. 10 rounds of welterweight action between Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy the Hitman Hearns.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sugar Ray Leonard. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of ring corner, Thomas the Hitman Hearns.
All right, guys, listen up. We went over the rules in the dressing room. Let's have a good, clean fight.
First round underway in this scheduled 10-rounder. The last time Tommy Hearns fought Ray Leonard, he knocked him down twice. The first time they fought, prior to that, we know he had him in bad shape. Do you see that coming around again, that he gets him in that kind of spot?
Well, that's what Leonard would like to see, but, you know, Tommy's looking at the last one, and, you know, he's building his case for that. You know, that's his story. He's sticking with it. Like they like to say, he's going to be thinking that the last time I found a home for my right hand, I want to find that home again.
There it is! Tommy Hearns has been stunned. Boy, he was hurt, but now he's gathered himself a bit. Halfway through round number one. Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. Able to dismiss his opponent's shot and then comes back with an uppercut. What's a weakness of the Hitman?
Well, a lot of people might say his chin. You know, he doesn't have that great shock absorber, you know, that neck that can absorb a blow when it has to. It's a little thin, just like his body. So I'm not saying that there's a little, you know, glass in that china, but sometimes
His infrastructure isn't good enough, just his physical makeup.
Yeah, you don't have that ability to absorb like some fighters.
As you look at Ray here in between rounds, you can see some swelling that's an issue.
And the one thing you want, or I should say you don't want to happen with a fighter that has swelling, is you don't want him to panic, deviate from his game plan. That's one thing you don't have to worry about is Sugar Ray Leonard. With his experience, he won't panic.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Nostradamus to know that. I mean, everybody saw, you know, he got staggered, his knees buckled, did a little dance there. But what you have to really know now is know why you got hit and correct that immediately.
That worked out really well, throwing off the right hand after getting tagged like that. Comes right back with a shot of his own. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. There's a taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know what he's doing is taking his opponent's jab away.
Good looking right hand after he got hit. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. Tommy Hearns blocks that punch. Tommy Hearns has got to deal with the swelling now. We'll see how he reacts. Teddy, let's talk about what this wiry, tall, and athletic frame of Tommy Hearns provides for him in the ring, because we've seen him use left leverage to his advantage with his power punches.
Well, guys that look like a tall drink of water, and that's what he looks like to me. You know, a lot of people think they're not intimidating. They get more worried about a guy from Venice Beach that, you know, has all those muscles and everything. But those wiry guys, those are the guys that I have found that worry me because they get leverage and they can really bang.
As you look at Ray here in between rounds, you can see that he does have some swelling that's an issue.
And the one thing you want, or I should say you don't want to happen with a fighter that has swelling, is you don't want him to panic, deviate from his game plan. That's one thing you don't have to worry about is Sugar Ray Leonard. With his experience, he won't panic.
And round number 3 is underway. Tommy Hearns has got to deal with a cut on his cheek right now. The good news is it's below the eye, but still it can get nasty as the fight progresses. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Sugar Ray Leonard. Accuracy an issue there. Didn't land that straight right hand. You know, it's a new day and age, but people should really reflect on the celebrity of Sugar Ray Leonard. There was a long time period in this country where he was undoubtedly one of the biggest superstars, not just in sports, but in all mainstream pop culture.
Yeah, he was. First of all, he had that great smile. He was doing endorsements. He was doing soda commercials. You know, and I think what's interesting about that is that he proved himself to the people. At first, they thought he was just this golden boy, this guy, you know, the Sugar Man. And he had all this great talent. But then, after the first Iran fight, he showed everybody that he could roll his sleeves up. You know, that he could get down and dirty. That he could be just a regular guy. A guy that you could count on. Not just a guy that was privileged with great talent.
Very nice job landing that counter punch, getting away from one that was coming at him. What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Sugar Ray Leonard. As you look at Ray here in between rounds, you can see that he does have some swelling that's an issue.
And the one thing you want, or I should say you don't want to happen with a fighter that has swelling, is you don't want him to panic, deviate from his game plan. That's one thing you don't have to worry about is Sugar Ray Leonard. With his experience, he won't panic.
They are back to action here, but that action has only favored one man, completely one-sided. Hard to see the scorecards coming into play here with how dominating he's been. Good job fighting from the outside. Boy, he's really working well on the outside, isn't he?
He's doing a great job of disciplining himself. You know, we talk about power, we talk about speed, we talk about all those virtues, but just controlling himself and making sure he controls the distance, a distance that got him winning the fight.
Nice exchange. Both right hands landed. A little something for his opponent after getting tagged. Had his target in mind, but just missed. Does it surprise you that he's not going to the body as much as he could be?
Well, what surprises me is that he doesn't have the intuitiveness, you know, just the instinct to understand, to recognize the situation. That's part of the ability of a good fighter, to recognize what he should be doing in a certain situation. He's not seeing that. He should be going downstairs.
Lands the counter. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. Do you see any way in which he can take his opponent's aggression and turn it against him?
Yeah, the perfect way. I mean, boxing 101, counterpunching. You got a guy coming at you, no better way than to change his mind, make him miss.
Oh! Tommy Hearns is almost out of it there. He was stunned. This has been a very entertaining fight. A little time to reflect here at the end of this round. My thoughts being this. I would really be surprised if we go to a decision here. It just has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it has a feel to me like going to one of those places where you can eat all the pasta you can for one price, you know? And some guys get carried away. They eat about 5 bowls. Well, these guys, they're going to have a stomachache at the end. Somebody is going to wind up not standing at the end.
Let's see some defense and more punch. Don't worry about it. Swelling is not.
So here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
Able to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one. There it is! Tommy Hearns is hurt by a big shot. Tommy Hearns blocks that punch. A nice, crisp hook after a fine defensive effort. I don't know how they are keeping this up. They are setting such a scorching pace of action in this fight. Sugar Ray Leonard comes from a bit of a fighting family. His brother Roger was also a pretty accomplished amateur fighter.
Yeah, you know, it always helps when you come from a family that was boxing because that means that you're familiar with all the things that you need to be familiar with. You're comfortable in that kind of setting, that it's been part of your life, it's part of your bloodline.
What a fight. What a great, great, non-stop action fight this has been. Good-looking counterpunch. Boy, just staying on the outside, away from danger and scoring well. Coming to the end of round number 5, last 10 seconds. And a good counter by Hearns. Sugar Ray Leonard's got to understand where he is right now in this fight. He'd be delusional to think that this is a close fight. He's down.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm delusional, and I have him down. But the thing right now is he's got to roll those dice. He has to really gamble if he's going to get back in charge of this fight.
Sugar Ray blocks that punch. Not able to land the headshot. Tommy Hearns is clearly committed to the strategy of footwork, of movement, of staying away and staying out of trouble.
Yeah, he's got plenty of air in those tires, and he's making sure that he's using them. He's spinning them around that ring. He just has to make sure that he doesn't get predictable where he's going straight back. He goes straight back, you can always time him.
One of the great all-time storybook careers in boxing history, Sugar Ray Leonard. Obviously turned pro, won a title at a young age, and then had the 2 fights with Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran, including the No Mas fight in New Orleans.
You know, those fights really made him. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. They made him in 2 different ways. They made him where he found out that he could be more than a smiling endorsement guy, Sugar Ray Leonard, that there was something more substantial, that he could fight with you in the pits, in the dark alleys, that he had that kind of makeup, and everybody else found that out. And also, it helped him with the audience because people don't like a guy who's too privileged. And in this case, he showed that he was also a guy who could go down there and act like a blue-collar guy, just act like a fighter.
Unable to score with the uppercut that time. Tommy Hearns' opponent's probably looking at him right now saying, wow, you're not changing anything up. You know, he got to him moments ago. Now, he's got the same style that he's looking at again.
Yeah, but he got to him moments ago. Got to him one time. I think right now it's too early to all of a sudden throw everything out the window. But look for an adjustment if things don't change. If he can't get away from those punches, if he keeps having problems, he gets stunned again, then you might have to look for a change. You might have to make a change if you're going to survive.
Back to action now. We're underway in what has been a completely one-sided fight. You get the sense this one may not go the distance. Wow! Sugar Ray Leonard stunned and staggered. He missed with that headshot. This is great stuff. I mean, great stuff. Bringing it every which way they are.
So you remember the time you were on a vacation, you saw that perfect sunset?
Oh, yeah.
It was just beautiful. This is beautiful.
How about a return to sender with the left hand? The twists and turns and the non-stop battle, it continues on as we've reached the 1 minute mark to go. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Comes right back with some offense of his own. Doing well on the outside. Tommy Hearns is being very efficient right here. I mean, he's just picking his shots. His accuracy is through the roof.
Well, that's one of the talents. You're hoping the talent of a top fighter is his ability to pick his shots, to be calm enough to see the openings. He's seeing everything right now.
The end to another very entertaining round in what has been a very entertaining fight. A fight where there's just bad intentions. The fight that just doesn't have the feel of a fight that's going to be a decision win for somebody. Looks like somebody's going to get stopped.
Right from the beginning, they've been fighting with desperation. Like, going the decision, as you just touched on, has not been in their minds at all.
As another round gets underway, it gets us thinking, how much more of this will we see? Hard to envision this fight going the distance with how lopsided it's been. Tommy Hearns' cut man is going to need to be all over this side. The swelling seems to be getting worse.
Well, it's kind of like being a gardener. You have to start getting in there before the weeds come up. You can't wait until the weeds are all over the place and then put them up. You're going to destroy those beautiful rose bushes. Well, it's the same thing here. You got to get to this eye before the swelling's there. You got to put that end swell, that cold piece of metal, onto that place early on.
Good block. Good looking counter punch. What a chin. Can you believe the shots this guy's absorbing?
And more importantly, can his opponent believe it? You know what? You want to hit a guy, so you figure that that's a good thing, that's an encouraging thing. This is a case where his opponent might get discouraged just by seeing his guy take those kind of shots.
Pulls the trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself. head well with his guard. Sugar Ray Leonard's in a tough spot right now, Teddy. I don't know really what the answer is for him because he hasn't shown me enough to prove that he can change the way this fight is going. He's down bad.
On my scorecard, too. And right now, he's got to do something that you hate to be in this position, but he's in that position. You have to take chances. You have to risk it all now to be able to catch up.
All right, let's work on that cut. Nice round. That was good. Keep that up. We have this.
They start up again. Back to action here with another round. But who knows how much longer it'll last. This has been a completely one-sided fight.
Keep your head moving.
He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. Locks it away. Nice block. Took a shot, now he gives a left. Teddy, this is one of those moments where you just wish you could pick up the phone and call up the world and say, tune in. Everybody should be watching this, right? Lumbering left hand puts him down.
One, two, three, four.
So Sugar Ray Leonard has to rise up and beat the count. Now he's got himself a little bit of a challenge here.
And now what he's doing, he's going through a CAT scan, an MRI, an X-ray, where you're going to get a chance to see what's inside.
This is going to take some guts to get up from this. Once again, he goes down.
One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And Sugar Ray Leonard goes down and now is rising to his feet.
And now is going to show you something that you don't usually see. Something that usually you need an X-ray machine to see. Inside him. You know outside was.
He goes down. Oh, he may be close here. Can he survive the round?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
End of the round. This fight is over.
It's done.
Tommy Hearns is going to have his hand raised by way of KO. The 10 count reached his opponent out. He's the victor. Tommy Hearns is your winner by impressive knockout victory.
And he did it just the way he had to. Stayed on the outside and used those quick hands all night.
I'm Joe Tessitore for Teddy Atlas saying thanks for being with us and enjoy the rest of your night.